Yepsale. Hello, all my beautiful people. Welcome to the alternate point of view. My name is Tracy Lee. Welcome if you are new. Welcome if you are an OG. I am so excited that you are here. So today, what we are going to do is this is a snippet. This is about like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour interview, but this is only 11 minutes and 55 seconds of the interview. So this is the cop in Gwinnett County, Georgia, who is accused of killing a 16-year-old Susana Morales. And I want to go over part of this interview and interrogation that is being done by the police department. And I wanted to go over this because I was certified in interviews and interrogations. I have a background in criminal justice and a concentration in forensics. And not a lot of you guys know that. I did this for my career, not as a police officer, but I did this in the retail field and loss prevention. We used a little different technique. We used Wicklander-Zawalski. Most police departments use the Reed technique. There is a big difference, but they use it differently because in the technique that I used, we built rapport. Reed technique still does that a little bit, but they kind of do it in a way where I used to build rapport is kind of like how I do my opening with you guys. I'm like, hey, welcome to the alternate point of view. My name is Tracy Lee, and I kind of get to know you guys a little bit. I want to kind of get you in here a little bit. But with the read technique, they sit people down and they kind of get to know, like, hey, I'm Officer so and so, Detective so and so. And then they kind of get right into the conversation, right? And then a little bit, they kind of joke around here and there and make the person feel comfortable and what have you. But they really do want to get into the meat and potatoes of things, okay? Because they already know. And when you do an interview and interrogation, you already know the answers to the questions before you ask the person the question, which is the entire point of an interview and interrogation. So if I ask you where you were on Saturday night, July 19th, of 2021, and you say, oh, I don't know, or I don't remember, or whatever, I already know where you were that night because I already have that information. So if you tell me you were at the Taco Bell with your girlfriend, I already know you were, I don't know, killing somebody. So it's kind of not good to lie. That's why when anyone asks you a question, especially a police officer, or if you're called into a police department, you should pretty much ask for an attorney at all times. Ask for an attorney. Even if you're not guilty, just ask for an attorney. The situation here is this guy is a cop. He is a military police officer in the Army. He is a uh, officer at an apartment complex on his off duty time. He knows the law. I don't know, he's just either really, really dumb or he just thinks he's smarter than these guys in the room. So he feels like he knows more than they do. But he shouldn't be sitting here talking to the police if he knew better. But he seems to not know better because you should always, 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 I don't care what anyone else tells you, always ask for an attorney. Guilty or not, ask for an attorney because I can tell you right now, it is a police officer's job, whether they tell you it is or not. It is a detective's job. It is a police officer's job to get you to say something that you would not normally say. And that is because they either already know the answer to the question or they may not have the full story. And because cops are allowed to lie during an interview and interrogation, they are allowed to say things like, well, why would I find your DNA in that house? Why would I find your hair in the car? They're allowed to say those kind of things because they're trying to get you pent up. because they may be at a loss for something, and they may be trying to find a reason that you may or may not be involved in a situation. So just remember, always ask for an attorney. Now, let's get into this video and let's talk about why Miles Bryant is not smarter than the police, even though he is a policeman.
I just drove around. I remember that night that we argued, I drove everywhere. I drove absolutely everywhere.
Okay. And you said you never keep your work phone on you?
No, not really.
Do you let anyone borrow it?
No.
What about your regular phone? What service do you have?
Metro by T-Mobile.
Okay.
No, not Metro, sorry. Xfinity Mobile.
Xfinity Mobile.
I was looking at T-Mobile.
Okay.
How is Xfinity Mobile?
Yes.
Terrible.
Is it? Did it used to be Verizon? Because Xfinity Verizon used to be like
I think so. I'm not sure.
And then now I see like Xfinity Mobile.
You're fine.
I just don't see it being reliable.
Yeah.
I just hate that. Like, I hate like sitting like, it gives me headaches. That's why I'm kind of leaning over.
You see how they did that there? You see how he's like, oh, how is that service? They're trying to get him comfortable. They're trying to get him like talking about something like, oh, how is that service? Oh, I hate that service. And how she's sitting there. Do you see how they're seated? That's the first thing. Okay. She is sitting in front of him. Why isn't the guy sitting in front of him? Well, first of all, he is in there for killing a girl, a female. Okay. And she is the lead investigator on this. She's a female. So she's basically sitting there. You see how close in proximity she is to him. She is right there on him. So she's got him backed up literally into a corner. And you'll notice that he shifts a lot. He's going to shift a lot because he has nowhere to go. Okay. And you notice that she's like, oh, I hate sitting here in here with the light like that. It gives me a headache. She's leaning further into him because she's trying to make it seem like she has nowhere else to go either, but further into him. And that guy's over there all relaxed, like, oh, how is that service? It's not that great. Oh, okay. You should really try this. They're really trying to get him off, kind of topic, but stay on topic. So this is a strategy. This is all strategic, what they're doing.
Okay.
God, man, that girl.
All right.
I found my gun out there.
Yeah.
So they found his gun.
You've never seen her?
Where they found the girl.
Are you familiar with her at all? I'm just trying to think.
They're throwing him bones.
All right. So that night, did you go up to the 16 at all?
Where did I drive? I don't remember. Where did I drive that night? I know I went somewhere because I came back, but where did I go?
What's in your pocket? You got chips?
Yeah, I was on the way to my girlfriend's house.
Oh, okay.
No, we broke up.
You're fine. Yeah. I get it. You ain't got to explain it to me.
Yeah, where I went, man.
You didn't go in the woodline contemplating life or anything, did you?
I'm not contemplating life. I
was just joking with you. I'm making jokes. That's a creepy ass place to walk to.
I drove everywhere. I'm not sure where I drove.
So they found Susana Morales out in the woods. Remember my last video, I told you that the guy that found her was out dirt riding out in his Suzuki Samurai, okay? And they found her body out in the middle of the woods. Now, these middle of the woods, by the way, were between his apartment and where her house was. So there were these deep woods, and he's sitting here trying to figure out. So when people do this and they look up and they're trying to think like, what can I say? What is a reason that I can give that I was out there? Because they've already told him that his phone has pinged out there and they found his gun. Remember in my last video, I said that his gun was found where her body was found, and he reported his gun stolen the next day. Now, he's a cop. He supposedly left his truck unlocked, and his gun was stolen the next day. So how could a cop allow his gun to get stolen? And he also told the officer that he reported his gun stolen to that he did not want an investigation done on his gun. He wasn't worried about it. What cop is not worried about his gun falling into the hands of a criminal possibly? that is not the way a cop thinks, okay? So he's over here thinking, he's leaning, he's like, oh, where could I have gone? Now I was on that road. Yeah, but where could I have gone? What could I have been doing? So he's really trying to think hard to make up a reason why he was down that road. So what could he have been doing if he wasn't, dumping that girl's body?
I'm able to go in that officer. If it's the same night, I'm able to go in the officer at QT. I'm trying to see what QT was. I just remember, man, what was it, like a lieutenant?
So you typically are shift. We got 1 lieutenant and 2 sergeants.
I just remember somebody rang. I was like, hey man, I was actually walking into the QT, and I was like, hey man,
It looks to him for reassurance. Like, what was it, like a lieutenant?
Whatever. And it wasn't QT near me though. I don't know where it was. It wasn't QT near me.
It wasn't QT near you?
No.
Do you remember the guy's name?
I don't. It was like a heavy set white lieutenant. That's all I remember. I talked to him for like maybe 5 seconds.
I think you told the officer that day that you talked to someone on Indian Trail, the Quick Point Indian Trail.
Yeah, I talked to my.
So when you were making the report, you said, I talked to one of your sergeants last night at the Quick Point Indian Trail. So basically that would mean you weren't in 316, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I went to that. It was the next day night. My girlfriend's argument. I remember we met up because I sat on passenger. I did a report.
Okay.
Right.
What was the report for?
It was an accident. I think it was 41.
You get that overtime.
You got a lot of 41s doorbell.
Yeah, no, it wasn't overtime. It was a late report that needed to be done.
Okay, so you just went to a parking lot driving around and then doing reports?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just driving around. I don't know where. You say 316, man.
So that could have been
at 316. No, I wasn't. I know for a fact that wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've never parked in a parking lot over there before.
Probably smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't sit over there and do a report. Not even working.
God. I don't know where. I know I talked to a dude from Gwinnett.
White or black guy?
White.
The nicest quick trip around there is that new big one. Was it Oak Brook or Brook Hollow?
Brook Hollow.
And Jimmy Carter.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's on North Side.
Yeah, that's the big nice quick trip over there.
Brook Hollow. Indian Trail?
And Jimmy Carter. There's that really big quick trip on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really nice one.
I think what are you talking about?
It's on the city.
Is it on the city?
Yeah, it's on the city.
I didn't know. I mean, you said you stopped. That'd be another quick trip.
Yeah, no. So I know when I got back and then I was with my girlfriend and stuff like that. We talked and stuff like that, reports.
What kind of car does your girlfriend drive?
Honda CRV.
Oh, that's the SUV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, small. Good gas mileage?
I guess I'm really driving.
Well, it's better than your truck.
Yeah.
I got a similar truck to you, and it's terrible gas mileage.
They're trying to be
okay.
cool.
But yeah, that night, yeah, I remember a little bit. Yeah, that night, yeah, before that, man, I was with my girlfriend actually.
Mm-hmm.
That night, I was riding around. I don't know what night it is, but if this next night in particular.
It's the night before you made the report with us. That should be memorable.
Yeah, I was just trying to think about it. Man, that's what
I don't call this live, but I can tell you what I did when I made the report.
yeah. I remember, yeah. Oh, God, I remember that part. She tried to chase me. My girlfriend tried to chase me with her car.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm driving around. I was driving, and I remember I was driving, and I was still in our area. I know where I was driving. She tried to chase me. Yeah, she tried to chase me. She tried to chase me with her car.
So y'all stayed in the area?
Yeah, me and her stayed in the area. I remember she chased me. Yeah,
Like the Jerry Springer episode.
I don't know if this will help, but she chased me into an apartment complex.
Mm.
The one that's over by where I live.
Mm-hmm.
She chased me in there.
Okay, so not Windscape, but another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
She chased me into the apartment complex. I think it's across. If you go out our front entrance, it's across the street.
On the main entrance, not the exit?
Off Indian Trail?
No, it's in the main entrance.
Oh, the main entrance? So the exit entrance is on Singleton, and there's also an entrance on Indian Trail?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to...
I'm not sure. I think it's the main entrance.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you see here, they're filling in the blanks for him because he has no story. He doesn't know what he's talking. He's trying to make stuff up. And he never mentioned any of this to the police officer the next day when he filed a report where his gun was stolen. Okay. So this also in the other day during court, there's no story of his girlfriend chasing him. He lied about that. But he didn't say this to the cop that he's telling about where his gun was stolen. Okay, he's not like, "Oh, my girlfriend was chasing me." He doesn't say any of that. So, it's very odd that he's reporting his gun stolen, but he's not reporting that his girlfriend is like going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs chasing him. And the detectives are here basically filling in the blanks. Oh, was it in the entrance? Was it the exit? So he doesn't even know. He's just making stuff up. And they're still being cool with him. And she's checking her phone constantly, probably because she's getting fed some new information or, finding out some stuff that's being additional info, because they are in the midst of searching or waiting to get a search warrant or waiting to get an arrest warrant for him.
But she chased me until there. I remember her car was behind me. I had bagged up. She thinks I'm sleeping with a girl over there. The whole time I saw her, I was trying to get away from her. So I bagged everything. She literally blocked my car and put the headlights, see through my truck, got out, and was like, "Oh, who girl?" It was just because she saw it in the truck. It was just me in the truck. And she's talking about, "Who girl?"
Did you have a girl in there? Did you have a girl in there?
In the truck? No. I don't know nobody over there. I was literally getting away from her.
Oh, so you don't have a girl that's over there?
No.
Where's the Florida girl live?
Oh, she lives on, not Appworth, Austell, sorry.
Oh, okay.
You're from here, aren't you? You're from that area a little bit?
Yeah.
You know some people.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Do you know where, Susana didn't live in your complex, but do you know kind of where she lived?
From what I've seen, she lived nearby.
Like where?
I have no clue. She said she was walking home, and
Ooh, she said.
She said she lived nearby. So I guess it'd be in the area. I don't think she lived in that apartment complex though. I don't think she lived in the
All right. I know she lived over there somewhere. I just can't remember.
Yeah, but I remember driving around that night, getting chased by my girlfriend. She blocking my car and almost hitting her car.
After y'all went out somewhere?
No, this is. Wow, I guess got me doing patrols on video or something like that. Yeah. So I guess while I was doing a patrol, she came in, blocked my. Oh man, what time was this? We're in. What time is? I don't know what time it was, but
Was it dark outside?
Yeah, it was dark outside. Yeah, she pulled up.
It had been dark a while.
Yes, I think so. It was dark, and I think I did patrol that night. I think that's the same night I'm talking about. But because I remember I grabbed. Yeah, because I remember it had to be. Yeah, it had to be after my gun stole. Because I remember I had my SIG. My SIG. So yeah, I bagged in, tried to turn off my light, see if she ride by and not see stuff like that. She knows my truck.
Y'all are crazy.
So she literally like pulled her car up to mine, turned her brights on. You can see anybody in the truck. You can see right through the truck.
That on you.
Yeah.
So I know that you heard about it. Did you research it at all?
No.
Because we sent out bolos, which I probably got.
I haven't seen any bolos from y'all, stuff like that, but I just seen the news.
Okay, you didn't look up at all? Like you didn't look it up at all? The case status or anything?
Not.
I know, like, you live in the area, so I would want to know, like, I use social media for everything. So I would have looked on social media, tried to get something, because, you live in the area, you might know what to look for. So that's what I mean, like, did you look?
Like on my work computer?
No, or your personal phone, like, social media, anything?
Like, missing girls, stuff like that, I saw that, but.
Okay, you saw it on what?
Just Google.
Okay, on your phone, your computer?
Just my phone, and I think on my work laptop. Because I remember I was at work when it first came out, she was found stuff like that, and I was on the phone with my girlfriend. I was like, "Babe, you know that girl was found stuff like that?" She was like, sorry, it's email.
You're fine.
She was like, yeah, da da da. So I was like, yeah, they found it, da da da. And I went back to work. I was dealing with a stabbing then. Oof. Yeah, that's the main part that night. I remember is getting blocked in by her. Then she got out. She hit my. If you look at my my passenger side window, she did that because she got out and she saw nobody was in there. She was like, "Who's in the truck?" Like, no, I rolled down my window. Like, nobody's in the truck. She was like, "Well, who?" Excuse me, lady. She was like, "Who here? Fucking da da." I was like, "Nobody." And she was like, "Yeah, you are." And she broke my window. Yeah. But it broke. It was already technically broken because that was when I was house and coming with my homegirl. But she smashed it even more, stuff like that.
Your window shattered?
No, the mirror.
Oh, the mirror.
The side mirror.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I got.
She gonna replace that?
I don't know.
You know she's not.
So I put it in drive.
He shouldn't have cheated on her.
She shouldn't. She don't.
Yeah. So I finally put it in drive, and she was just chasing me after that.
Okay. And then y'all just played chase the boo until y'all went home?
No.
Who went home first?
I don't know, but I know I lost her and I just drove around. And then I went to QT. It wasn't at QT. I drove around. Yeah. Where did I drive to? I went toward. God, this sounds bad. This sounds terrible. I know it sounds bad. I probably went up Lawrenceville area because I remember being on the exit going that way trying to lose her.
Lawrenceville, like where?
Like up 85?
Yeah, I went up basically get off my exit and went up 85 because it's like
You went up 85 to Lawrenceville's pretty big, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
So I went up 80. I remember going up 85 because I kept looking back and it's a gas station. Where's the gas station? No, it's a racetrack right there and it's a gas station across the street.
Beaver Road.
Yeah.
85 Beaver Road?
Oh.
Yeah. Was it that quick trip? Because there's a quick, if you keep on
yeah.
Beaver Road.
No, it's not that one. No, I got on the highway and I hauled ass up there.
To Beaver Ruin?
No, past Beaver Ruin.
Past Beaver Ruin?
Going up towards Lawrenceville area. I think, oh man, that sounds bad. It is over about 316.
I mean, you're saying that's bad. I mean, Lawrenceville's big. You're saying that's bad. I mean, the area where...
Yeah, because, I'm be honest, I'm police officer, okay? So my gun was found in that area, technically was in that area, stuff like that,
Okay, so
I just
that interview, so like he basically talked a lot, right? So he talked a whole lot. He went from I was driving around everywhere. I was going to the Quick Trip. I met a lieutenant from Gwinnett County. I went to the Quick Trip. He changed his story so many times. Then he went to my girlfriend was chasing me. And just so y'all know, you cannot see through his truck windows because his truck window tint is basically illegal. Even his front windshield tint is illegal. And he's a cop. So also his side mirror was broken on the 27th of July when the cop came to check to fill the report out for his stolen gun. That happened probably because he drove through wherever he had scratches on his truck and the window, the mirror was broken on the side of his car that day, probably because he drove through the wooded area with Susana. Also, the girlfriend said, well, whichever side piece, girlfriend, whatever he had, was not chasing him that night. She wasn't even there. They checked all the phone records and whatnot. She was not even there. The other girlfriend, the girlfriend he'd been dating for nearly 3 years, she was actually going to school in another city. If you guys don't know much about the Atlanta area, Lawrenceville, Gwinnett, Norcross, all of that area, look it up on a map because those are different parts of Atlanta, outskirts of Atlanta. And there are some nicer areas than others. So what the other detective was talking about, like, that's a nice quick trip. That's the only one I would go to. I wouldn't go to the one that you're talking about. So there are different areas of Atlanta that you probably wouldn't want to go to at night. So but the way you see those detectives positioned, the way that the female is positioned up against him, basically almost touching him, is basically putting her assertiveness over him because she's the female and he clearly, for whatever reason that night, he found Susana, saw her walking, and he picked her up. And if you didn't notice in one of his sentences where he said, she said, because they were asking, did you know where she lived? Did you ever notice her. She was in that apartment complex where he lived all the time. Her friends lived there. She spent almost every single day there with her friends. So he was a courtesy officer there, so he knew who she was. And he clearly had followed her home several times because his truck was seen outside of her house several times. And when he was asked, did you know where she lived? Did you know who she was? And he said, oh, she never said where she lived. So he knew who she was. He had noticed her, and she was a very, very pretty girl. So the interview goes on for several more hours. There's a lot more hours of interview in there, but the key to a good interview is to basically, especially for police officers, detectives, is when you put them in a room, you have them sit in there for a while because they wonder what they're doing in there. They don't have an officer in there. They're just sitting in a room wondering what's going on. But at this point, they have been interviewing him for a while. And he thinks they're on the same level because they're just talking to him. He's a cop, they're cops, so he thinks he's kind of cool with them, and he's just having a conversation, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks he's just, as I said, he looks at the other guy for kind of reassurance, like, yeah, it was a lieutenant that I talked to, right? And he's getting them to kind of fill in the blanks. Yeah, it was the entrance of the other apartment complex that was near my apartment complex, Oh, and the entrance or the exit, So it's they're just kind of feeding him whatever he wants to fill in the blanks with, but they know that he's lying. So it's a very good interview. But he's just painting himself into the corner that he's already stuck in physically. So I wanted to show you that little interview. We're still waiting on a verdict in this trial. I kind of figured it was going to take a while for a verdict to come back because they didn't find a body. They found skeletal remains. They did not find any clothing. There is no cause of death. There is no, even though they found a gun beside her skeletal remains, there is no gunshot wound to any of the skeletal remains. All they have really is that his phone pings where her remains were found. His gun was found where her remains were found. I believe that possibly what happened is he probably sexually assaulted her. He is charged with sexual assault because there were no clothing found. Also, because his gun was found there, he possibly maybe knocked her out with the gun, but there is no evidence of a gunshot wound. They are saying possible strangulation. So I'm really not sure. If you saw the pictures of the vehicle, his vehicle looked like he lived in it. It was really, really dirty, gross, full of a lot of stuff. He had police gear in there. He had police gear in his house. He had police gear in his vehicle for work. His police vehicle. His house was kind of, a bachelor pad basically. He wasn't the neatest guy, so I'm not really sure what other evidence they found as far as connecting him to the crime. So I'm a little behind on the actual trial part. I only have been able to watch one day and see some of the interrogation videos. So I want to catch up on the rest of the trial. So I don't want to say anything as far as why they're taking so long with the verdict, other than there isn't a cause of death. And that the evidence that they have is just, as far as I know, his gun found by the skeletal remains and his phone pinging at the scene where they found her skeletal remains. So that's what I know so far. So I will catch up. I just wanted to do this little video of him being interrogated, but not really interrogated because they're kind of being cool with him, and he thinks they're cool with him because they're cops. So, and he's a cop, and I think he believes he's the smartest one in the room. So I thought you would find that interesting, and I hope that you do. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if you want to know more about the difference between the reed technique and the Wicklander-Zawalski technique, let me know, and I'll be happy to share more with you. I appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you later. Kamsahamnida.